na? Naka-on record. Ay, naka-on na. Okay. Yun na. Okay, good evening everyone.
Good evening.
So we are the Fantastic Four. And today's group sharing topic is all about the school policies and their functions. So the learning outcome for this group sharing is we should be able to explain the importance of school policies in school operation. So in the activity, we have read the policy on grading system given by the DepEd Central Office as DepEd Order Number 8 series of 2015 with the corresponding percentage weights as shown in Table 7. And for all students, we have read the excerpt of DepEd Order Number 54 series of 2009 for PTA. Next one is the policy on collection of contributions and the prohibitions of the PTA. So, after we perform reading those reading materials, let us now proceed to the analysis. So, let's analyze. For question number 1, how do you feel about the policies? Are you happy about them? Or are you happier without them? Why? May I call Kenton for your answer?
What if schools had no policies on the
So,
grading
good
system?
evening. My answer in question number 1 is it is an advantage to each teachers as well as students to adhere these policies. I am happy about them because it provides guidance, accountability, and clarity that establish standards of quality for learning. It also provides day-to-day basis in school that serve as safe and effective place for learning to occur. So that's all. Thank you. Thank you, Kenton. So my additional answer for the question number 1 is that I feel determined about the policies because it is already implemented to all schools of DepEd to realize the foundation of education, publicly and privately. I must be happy about these policies to strictly follow the rules and regulations of the education system. But in reality, I am very sad because there are schools that do not follow, like the policies on collection of contributions, wherein every student must pay a miscellaneous fee without considering that some students are siblings of their family. So it has been my experience when I was a high school student. So it is very sad, but it is the truth. So wala akong magagawa noon kasi nasa school talaga. So thank you, Kenton, for your shared answers. For question number 2, what if schools had no policies on the grading system like the DepEd Order Number 8 series of 2015? What may happen? What are the possible consequences on teaching and learning? May I call on June Coral for your answer? Thank you.
So we already know that one of the main goals of grading system is to produce grades that more accurately reflect a student's learning progress and achievement, including in the on the every quarter or semester, depending on its grade level or
Wait, ano yan? Nangyari.
Continue ta lang ba ya? Kasi,
Ah,
kasi nakaano ako eh. Tig screen record ko din. Kaso di ko sure kung ma-record ang sound ka ini. Yun din kaya ang problema ka ini eh. What do you think?
sige. So, pwede ba? Okay, pasensya na. Ano ba yan?
Ana?
Ano, sige, Clay?
From the start.
Ulitin
Yan,
mo,
yan talaga yung mapan.
ulitin mo Clay sa ano, so question about sa ano, number 2. Ikat mo na lang,
Dahil
Charlotte.
itong ano,
Okay, question.
dahil na shake. So, ano,
Sa question number 2,
so,
tapos,
pinakainom.
Charlotte, ikaw na lang mag ano, mag-cut ka ini, mag-edit.
Okay.
Naka-record ini sa kuya eh. Nag-record din ako, screen record.
Ah,
Ulit ka Clay sa ano, question number 2. Masimbag ako.
Then nasa question number 1.
Dahil na kasi naka-ano ini, naka-record ini eh. Ibig sabihin, makat na lang tapos garo edit na lang ni Charlotte. Garo ikakat ko sa end sa
Sige na,
nagpunda.
naan pa.
napuan mo pa lang si Kuya.
Oo, napuon ko sa pinaka-poon tig-record ko.
Ay, salamat.
Thank you, June. Okay.
Sige.
So, let's proceed to question number 2. With respect to the DEP and Order number 8 series of 2015, the policy on the grading system, what if schools had no policies on the grading system? What may happen? What are possible consequences on teaching and learning? May I call on June Coran for your ideas? Thank you.
So, we already know that one of the main goals of grading system is to produce grades that more accurately reflect a student's learning progress and achievement, right? Wherein it is always graded based on the quarter examination and based on its performance. But then, without policy in grading system, I think it allows students to do minimum effort and yet pass. Pushes learners who haven't learned the topic. It will also place a strain on teachers in terms of how they will rate their students' performance. And lastly, it will most I think it will allow for a biased grading system because we all know that if there is no policy in grading system, teachers will decide on what on how they will grade their students. It will also include maybe on some teachers they will include their impressions on their students on how they will grade their the teacher on how they will grade their students. Sorry. I'm done. Yes. Hello? Anyone?
Mine would just be play.
A. Dedo ko nadangog.
Yan. Oo, ako ang nawala. Sensya na.
Ay,
Okay, thank you, June. I do not add question number 3 because that is for groups 4 to 6. So may I proceed to questions number 4 and 5 to be answered by Mr. Charloy Reyes. Question number 4. Based on the DepEd order number 54 on PTA collections, why are schools very strict with money collections? The next question. The policies given above come from DepEd Central Office. Should all school policies come from DepEd Central Office? Can schools also formulate their own policies? Oh my God. If yes, why? If no, why not? Mr. Charlie, it's your turn.
My answer for these two questions, center number 4, based on the order on the day of elections, for our school is very strict with money collections. The answer is here. The schools are very strict because there is a history of malversation or corruption and abuse of funds which happened in the past that the schools are preventing it to happen again. So if there is collection, there must be a reasonable amount and the money are kept in a reputable banking institution. Contributions are not the reason to not admit and issue adherences to the child. And for the question number 5, not all policies should be relied from the central office because the schools can address their local problems together with the partnership to community. Yes, the schools can formulate their own policies because the schools and the community within the locality knows better about their issues and problems, that they can formulate some policies for it to be solved and prevented to irritate the system of education in that area. That is all.
Thank you, Mr. Charlie Reyes, for your answers. So I will add some ideas for these questions. Question number 4. My answer is that schools are very strict with money collections because school organizations like the PTA are held duly responsible of the operation and implementation of their programs and projects exclusively for the students and school benefits. They are making or creating programs that are in line with the SIP or School Improvement Plan to avoid violations on money collections, such that Mr. Charlie Reyes mentioned, like malversation of funds and other forms of abuse happened in the past. Even engaging in any partisan political activity within school premises as also a prohibited activity. For question number 5, my answer is that not all school policies must come from the DepEd Central Office because schools can also formulate their own policies such that teachers, school head, and the school must consider the status of the education system to their locality. Considering that some schools cannot implement policies from the central office, knowing that they're encountering problems in any context, by collaboration, harmony, and unity of the school organizations, teachers, school head, and the community leaders, they can successfully implement those school policies on their own. So thank you once again, Charlotte. For question number 6 to be answered by June Coral, if schools can formulate their own policies, what conditions must be met for these policies to be surely implemented? It's now your turn, June Coral. Thank you.
Um, okay, so we already know that every policies there should be a condition that must be met, right? For this concern, if ever the school made a policies for their own, I think these policies are or must defines rules and regulations to regulate acceptable behaviors and guarantee that students, instructors, and school staff or other members of the school are in safe condition. Also, policies in school that aids in the creation of a good environment. That's all.
Thank you, June Coral, for your answer. For the last question to be answered by Kenton Platanyo, what is an advantage of a policy formulated by the school community over that policy which comes from above? You may now answer, Kenton. Thank you.
So, good evening once again. The answer is the policy created by the school community takes less time of waiting than the policy from above, or like the governing sector. Next advantage is that better policies are created because the school community face the school problems that hinders the school's development or progress. Then last, provides better implementation along with the persons involved. Thus, formulation process is participative. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you, Kenton, for your answers. So, to sum up, we have accomplished the learning outcome that is to explain the importance of school policies in school operation. So, as we have discussed, share, and express those ideas that we have encountered in this module by reading, analyzing, and understanding those concepts, we are able to finish accomplishing the learning outcome for this module. So, thank you everyone. God bless. Stay safe and goodbye.
Thank you.
Thank you.